got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sean B Nice back giving some more heat rock. Today we're gonna be doing the game review of the LG G7. Now, what makes my game review the best game review on YouTube is the fact that you will actually be able to see the frames per second of these games while we're actually playing them. So there's no debate. You don't have to wonder how the game is actually performing or how it's actually doing. I show frames per second stability, all that, and that is due to me being partnered up with a company called GameBench. I've been using this procedure for at least like 2 to 3 phones now, and I love them. And their company is, I think, like the only company that does this to be able to test out game performance thoroughly on these devices. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into it. So the games we'll be testing out are, we're gonna do 3 games today. These games I think are pretty optimized for Android, so they should run very well on LG. So we got Dawn Break, we're gonna do Dawn Break for sure, PUBG, and I either do Future Fight or Dynasty Warriors Unleashed. I haven't figured out which one I'm gonna use first. I haven't figured out which one between those two, so we'll just do Dawn Break for right now. Now, I usually do the test like around like maybe about 5 minutes. But as you guys can see here in the right-hand corner, you see the frames per second like I told you. So keep an eye on that. I may jump in between scenes depending on how I'm feeling. It depends on how the video goes. So, but we're gonna make sure all the settings is tweaked out and maxed out to our to the full capability of this device. Now the way, I don't think GameBench is optimized yet for the LG notch display yet, so I can't see the timer. So I'll stop it when I feel I need to stop it. Now, one thing I can say while I'm playing this phone, I kind of do miss. Now, don't get me wrong, the LG gets plenty loud, as you guys are about to see right now. I'm about to turn the volume up max, so you can hear how it sounds with the phone in my hand, and then I'm gonna let you hear how it's on the table. All right, you hear that? Now I'm gonna put the phone on the table. And I actually feel the table vibrating. The resonance thing here is crazy. You hear the difference, right? That is crazy. Great job, LG, for that, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get some more into it. We're still at 60 frames per second. Very fun game. If you guys are interested, I'll make sure I link these games in the description below as well. All right, so we actually went for 6 minutes. I didn't go that much over, so that's a good thing. Now, one thing I do want to say is usually on most Android phones, when the cutscenes come on, it usually like drops the frames per second a little bit. So just keep that in mind, man. Take that with a, don't let it weigh down too heavily on what you see right now. But one thing we can see is right now it is the frames per second is 59. It's 59 frames per second. Okay, so let's go ahead and. The CPU usage is only 5%, RAM usage is only 603 megabytes. So as you can see, this game is pretty much optimized for this device here. It ran pretty good. Now, this is what I was talking about. As far as the frames per second stability, it's only 67%. Again, we had like a lot of cutscene stuff involved where it would drop down to like around 30 with 60 frames per second. As far as actual gameplay, we saw 60 frames overall. But let's go ahead and take a look at battery drain. Battery drain saying it dropped down not too bad. So we played for 6 minutes, so it went down from 37% down. So it went from 37% down to about 34%. Not a huge deal. Now battery temp, it did kind of go up a little bit. It went from like around 31.5 degrees to about 36. So it went up like 5 degrees, kind of odd there. Memory usage is kind of like, again, all over the board a little bit, but overall the game still performed very well. And I have no complaints at all with this game here. So here, we got a game that ran stable, 59 frames per second. What more can you ask for? Wasn't too demanding on a CPU at all. GPU, I'm surprised, is not picking up the Adreno yet. So let's move on to the next game. Next game we're gonna do is a fan favorite, which is PUBG. I got an actual stopwatch here now. All right, so here they say it's running like around 30 frames per second. Okay, I stopped the timer because I wanted to adjust the settings, but you guys can see here in the settings, I have it set for HDR, and then I have it set for frame rate as far as ultra, which should get us to 60 frames per second that we actually need. So we're gonna hit okay and back out. and go back up and start game bench. Now just FYI, for this particular test, I won't be starting the timer until I'm actually in the match, okay? Whatever the match is, you know what I'm saying, I may just do 5 minutes, but I need to be out the plane, on the ground, timer will start. All right, guys, moment I hop out that plane, we hitting start. I'm sorry, I told you guys when I hit the ground. When I hit the ground, well, no, this should be part of it. This should count. We're gonna count this now. We'll start counting it now. All right, now what I am kind of surprised about, if I remember correctly, that my S9 Plus was getting 60 frames starting out, so we pretty much average like around 40 right now in the LG G7, so I'm a little surprised by that, to be honest. But if you guys are interested in seeing me do a gaming comparison between an S9 Plus and an LG G7, let me know, smash that thumbs up button and I got you. All right, so I had a couple of stutters already. Again, it's staying between 40 and like 39 frames per second. All right, at least we have a weapon now. All right, y'all, still haven't really found nobody yet. I was at least trying to get some type of action to show you guys, but the frames per second is still staying, you know, between 30 and 40, so nothing has changed really. Okay, look like we can have action, but I don't know where. All right, got him. I don't know how dude didn't kill me, but trash nonetheless. All right, we are coming up to that 5-minute mark, as you guys can see. Now, what I can say, the phone is getting a little hot. Not gonna lie to y'all, it is getting a little warm. See how we're looking. Frames per second, we seen that. Yeah, it's definitely a little hot around the edges. I'm feeling that. Yeah, a little bit uncomfortable, not even gonna lie to y'all. So, as far as performance is concerned, it stayed around 39 frames per second, but it kept it at an 88%, so not bad at all. Let's see what else we got here. We can kind of see where the dip started to come, right? Like pretty much when we was in the menu, but after that, it pretty much stayed consistent. A dip every now and then, but it pretty much stayed between 39 and 40 frames per second. I'm surprised I don't see the CPU and stuff like that, but maybe PUBG is not up there for that. You know, certain games have to be optimized for you to use this app, but we can still get a clear idea that we can know for a fact that PUBG runs pretty well on LG G7, but I think it runs a little bit better on that Samsung S9 Plus, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so last game, what is it going to be? I feel like we've ran Marvel Future Fight into the ground, so let's just do Dynasty Warrior. I'm pretty much really tired of seeing Future Fight games in almost every Android video, so we'll do something different, and then we'll make sure we start the timer as soon as we see me actually in the game. And one thing I do want to say is, because this is not an OLED panel, you can see, like, it's not perfect blacks. You can still see, like, I mean, it looks good, but it's not, the pixels are not completely turned off. All right, timing has started. Let's get to it. I've seen a couple of hiccups. Nothing to, you know, write home about yet though. But I do see when the frames drop, as you guys can see too on the screen. And as you guys can see, when the phone's on the table, if I cover it, you pretty much can't hear nothing. You can hear a little bit, but not much. So I'm assuming this game just pretty much has an unlocked frame rate, because it's literally going all up and down across the board here. Got my man Huey P, one of the greatest minds that ever touched this planet. All right, time is back up. So one more of those games and that will be it. We can conclude the test and kind of see what's our final thoughts on the LG G7 as far as a performance standpoint. Now the cutscenes, as you can see, hop back up to 60, but during actual gameplay, it's not, you know, it's not really there. One thing I can say too, around the edges here, is definitely getting hot. So I would definitely recommend getting a case when you do, if you're buying an LG just to pretty much play video games on it, or if you're someone who games heavy on the phone, definitely get you a case. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Hitting below 30 right now. All right, guys, we're like around 4:30. I think that's good enough. We can, we'll stop it there, just, you know, so we can kind of conclude the video and kind of get what our thoughts are. So it's played for like 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Now, so as we can see, PUBG, we couldn't get a read on, I'm assuming because it's more so like an online game only. But here on Dynasty Warrior, or maybe because it's been out longer, Dynasty Warrior's been out longer than that. But the RAM used to around 626 megabytes. All right, so for some odd reason, it's not picking up the Adreno GPU, none of the games, but we can see PUBG just wasn't optimized for it, for this app here, because it didn't give us the resources usage. But here we got 626 megabytes worth of RAM, 10% of the CPU. So as you guys can see from the first game only used 5% of CPU. This is only using 10, so I'm assuming it's definitely more graphically demanding, or it's just not as optimized as the last game, or the very first game. Now, frames per second, I can say the frames per second on this particular game here was pretty much all across the board. It only had a frame per second stability of 42%. That's not good. It's not good at all. And we can see here, it's just been spiking and going up and down. There's no consistency playing this game at all. Frame rates is everywhere. Battery drain is pretty high, and plus, like I said, I felt the phone getting hot. Right now, battery temp is like at 41 degrees. After a while, I guess the phone started to kind of like stay there a little bit, but we played the game for 7 minutes and went from 28% to 24%. So the game is pretty demanding graphically, I guess. So yeah, but overall, my final opinion about the LG G7 as far as gaming is concerned, I think it's a great device for gaming. Not the best, definitely not the best, but it's good. It's playable. It's definitely playable. So if you enjoyed this video, man, make sure you share it. I'm the only YouTuber who really does frames per second gaming tests on phones. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you stay locked on my channel here. Make sure you subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's your boy Sean. Be nice, man. I'm out. Deuces.